All right, we have an explosive game with Steelers and the Rams. Literally, the field was on fire. Like we
Well,
have to take a 5 second moment to pause to chuckle about it every time we bring it up.
anyways, I guess the elephant in the room that we should bring up is the fact that Big Ben got hurt in this game,
Yeah,
and
potentially really fucking some things up further. The division,
right,
the
right.
playoffs, everything.
I had Pittsburgh as really they were looking like the number two, number three best team in the AFC. I had them pegged for an easy win in that division, and now all of a sudden with the way Cincy's playing, it don't look that clear. It really the way Cincy's playing with Big Ben out, Michael Vick. I guess we're gonna see what he's got left in the tank. You know?
I, if you want my 2 cents on Michael Vick,
Sure.
first of all, he didn't look very good. Take it
No,
over.
he didn't.
Granted, I don't think he's. No one's prepared, to come in
Right.
there. You almost got like a 50-50 shot of are you prepared to just take over at any moment or not?
With Antonio Brown, with Le'Veon Bell though, does he really have to look that good? You know?
Yeah, well. First of all, if he doesn't look good, Antonio Brown's not going to look good. Heath Miller's not going to look good anymore.
True, true.
Uh,
Brown can get some yards, even if Vic can't nail the deep ball though. If he can get it to Brown in like a 5 yard play, Brown could potentially turn that into a 15 yard play.
yeah, yeah,
He's pretty good at
that's
getting yards
true.
after the catch. So
That's very true. That's also, I think, what's going to throw a wrench with Roethlisberger being out is, I felt Antonio Brown had a good shot of probably being the number one wide receiver this year.
oh,
Uh,
he's still, and I think he still has a pretty good shot despite
he's going
that.
to be a top wide receiver, but probably not going to be like getting
Between
the most yards.
I mean, we mentioned Cincy already. AJ Green this week,
Mm-hmm.
like damn.
Mm-hmm. I
And
mean,
Julio
there's
uh,
some pretty intense wide receivers have
right,
come up. Even Larry Fitzgerald isn't out of the run,
true.
this year at all. And I mean, that's just purely going off like statistically wise. What I'm thinking for Michael Vick is his last year, what he started on the Eagles. And it's actually ironic that he was on the Eagles in this. He didn't look good at all on the Eagles. He looked old. He looked washed up.
Well, that's why he's a
And
backup.
well, and that's exactly. But the reason that it's ironic for the Eagles is because that's exactly how Donovan McNabb looked his last year too. Granted,
It's true.
McNabb was on the Vikings, just tying it together. But
Well, McNabb did have a decent year, I think, with the Redskins, but he was
was that his last year? I thought the Vikings was his last year.
I don't know. The last decent year he had was with the Redskins,
Oh, all right.
but he still wasn't good by any means. But I guess the Rams here, disappointing, right?
Rams confused me this year.
They acted the same way last year. They're an enigma. They win games that they're not supposed to, and they lose games that they should.
Yeah.
They should win. I
Well,
mean,
that's hard about this game. Were they supposed to win this game? Really? I mean, they just got Le'Veon Bell back. Although, you could also argue that
once Big
they
Ben
had
was
a
out,
yeah,
they should have
yeah.
won. I know. They beat Seattle, and then Big Ben's out of the game. Put a bounty on him, knocked him out. So, I know I'm joking, but I actually don't think that hit was. I personally don't think that was an illegal hit. That's like seems to be the hot topic right now, and I don't want to get too caught up into what you can watch on Sports Center, and
Yeah,
they'll talk about it for an hour. But
with
I
no
personally don't.
results.
I personally don't think that was an illegal hit. It kind of looked like he got tripped up and he just kind of hit him. So
Well, if they're gonna count that as an illegal hit, they might as well count every quarterback that's been injured, which is what, six now by week three.
it's been a rough year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
week 3 only. Just injuries in general, quarterbacks in particularly. But they lost. You had Kelvin Benjamin and Jordy Nelson go out before the season even started.
Hmm.
It's been a bad year for injuries.
Yeah. I think two last things for not not even really this game because let's be honest, there wasn't much about this game. After Big Ben went down, it
It
was
was
field
just
goals
basically,
pretty
yeah,
much.
it was Pittsburgh trying to hang on.
Yeah, which they did. That
Yeah,
was just good
and
for him.
it's
But
a testament to them having some depth, you know.
right. But speaking of depth, I mean, they're coming up next week against the Ravens. I mean, Ravens are 0-3, so obviously hungry for a win. Now you don't have your starting quarterback. You got Le'Veon Bell back, which is good.
And Steve Smith, actually, who we did not mention, looks as good as he ever did right now.
Yeah,
And you know,
and that's gonna be a hard game. I mean, if I was a betting man, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on the game at least on that one particularly.
yeah,
And
the Ravens have a good shot at getting their first win, if for sure.
they do, and Steelers have a good shot of potentially showing how good the team is even without your starting quarterback, which realistically they do still have a really good team. Defense maybe not so much, and I think that might be the thing that hurts them the most is that if your defense can't stop a team and then you can't produce the maybe as many points as what Roethlisberger could potentially put up,
Right.
that might be a really big thing. And again, like I said, I am not a believer in Vic. I don't think a whole lot of people should be, and if you are, it's probably because you were a fan of Vic in his prime, and I'm sorry, but he's past it. Just realistically,
At the same time, if he can just not turn over the ball,
yeah,
his tenure as starter won't be a disaster, you know.
yeah. I think that's going to be honestly their biggest thing is they're going to go a lot of the short pass, a lot of just clock control, and hope that's it. Just don't fumble it and don't throw an interception, and we should be able to win pretty much.
And meanwhile, St. Louis is going to Arizona. So good luck, guys.
But you just mentioned they're the enigma, so watch them win.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point, but I don't know. I'm a big believer in Arizona right now, so I don't know if the rule is going to apply to that game.
Probably not.
But yeah, you're looking at so. I think basically the assessment is Steelers still the favorite, but they need Big Ben back to be a legit contender, favorite for the division. But if they want to do anything in the postseason, they're definitely going to need Roethlisberger.
I'm gonna do one last thing quick before we
Okay.
end this up. Is what
Okay.
I think the most interesting thing about the Steelers is that Tomlin always goes for two.
Yeah,
I like
it is
that.
interesting. I'll do too. I do too.
I think that's why they changed the rules. They wanted more of these 2 point
Right.
conversions to come out, and Tomlin's like the only coach who's really going for. I mean, you are seeing more 2 point conversions coming out in the NFL
Right.
in general.
You're gonna have to see some more blocked and just straight up missed extra points, I think, before more teams really start going for it more often. You know, and I think as that happens, I don't ever think the 2 point conversion will supersede such a, unless they push the extra point like way back. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to completely supersede the extra kick, but it might become more prevalent, I guess would be the right word there.
Yeah.
It become more prevalent as it goes, as the season goes on, and maybe as the years go on. So, I like the rule change personally.
I do too. I think happy about everything. If I was a Steelers fan, I wouldn't be too happy right now, but I'm happy with the rule change at least.
At least you're not a Saints fan.
I am happy